3 positions to go through to kind of work on tolerance for extension. This is for a gymnast in particular. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down into a squat as deep as I can, and then I'm just going to let myself roll back. I'm going to let my feet go as far back overhead as I can, and then I'm going to use some momentum to kick up and come back up. So once again, going back, down into the squat, coming back, feet all the way back, and then I'll get some momentum to try and come up. And actually, shoes make this a little tougher because you have a little bit of a raised heel. So you'll see if I do the same thing, down into the squat, coming back, feet going all the way back overhead, and then as I come up, I'm going to make sure that I can tuck my heels and stand up. So you're going to do 5 to 10 of those, right? One more time, down, as deep as I can get into my squat, coming back to rolling overhead, and from here I'll use a little momentum, kicking my feet forward as I tuck my feet and come up, right? Now next, I'm going to come down, and here I'm going to take my feet into that same overhead position, and then I'm going to plant my palms on the floor, and I'm really going to press my palms down so that I can straighten my legs up towards the ceiling as high as I can, trying to go as erect as possible, and then slowly lower back down into the overhead. Legs up towards the ceiling, trying to straighten my legs up towards the ceiling as high as I can. And to do that, I really have to press into my hands to get myself up there, and then back overhead again. Once again, 5 to 10, and then I'll return back up to my standing position. Now, third on the list is trying to build tolerance into a back bend. So I'm going to come down, and I'm going to lay back again. I'm going to bend both knees, heels tucked underneath my hips a little bit, and I'm trying to make sure my legs are not in this feet wider than my hips position. I'm going to bring my hands up overhead. This is going to start to work into my back bridge. So I'm very slowly going to start to press up through my heels, squeeze my butt a little bit. Then as I start to come up, I want to see how I feel working into some extension. So if I'm not too bad here, I'm going to start to slowly come up to see if I feel this anywhere in my lower back. If I do, I'm going to come back down, take a break, bring my legs back overhead, come back down, and I'm going to go into it again. So once again, feet underneath, arms overhead. I'm going to start to slowly come up into this back bridge. Same thing, as soon as I start to feel my lower back or anything that's tight, discomfort, come back out of it and come back to the stretch. So that way I'm mixing in something that lengthens this with something that compresses it. So once again, and if I'm able to, really the goal here is if I can start to push up through my arms and work myself up a little higher. Now even with this bridge, I can kind of adjust to where I'm more back towards my hands or I'm more back towards my feet. So anything that I can do here to diminish the back pain is a good idea. And then once again, come back into feet overhead. So that's something I want to continue to alternate, those 2 positions. Working on seeing how many I can do before I feel like this back pain is starting to creep up on me. It's a good precursor to being able to do things like back handsprings, walkovers, stuff that I definitely can't do, but a gymnast needs to be able to do.